there is a dog somewhere very nearby. And this is a no pets complex, so someone's breaking the laws. Hey guys, what's up? It's Michaela, back again for another video. This one is going to be my first individual book review of 2020. I am recording this on December 6th. God only knows when you're actually going to see it. I'm very behind on editing. But as of today, I am 3 books into my 100 book goal for 2020, which is exciting. The last book that I finished, which I just finished last night, stayed up really late to finish it. And by really late, it was actually only 10 o'clock because I am ancient. The book I just finished is Blood Countess by Lana Popovic. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. Here we go. You can see for yourself. I heard about this book shortly before it was dropped at YALLFest, and basically the only thing I knew about it was Elizabeth Bathory and gay, and I was immediately on board. Like, could not have been more on board. This is so my area, like, just So for a little background, Elizabeth Bathory is the Hungarian, yes, countess who sort of made famous this idea of bathing in the blood of virgins in order to stay young forever. This is a thing that she totally really did, and I highly recommend checking out the episode of the Lore TV show about her. I don't know how accurate the show is, but I do know that Erin Mankey, who does the Lore podcast and created the Lore TV show, does a ton of research, so I more or less trust it. So this book is a fictional book, even though Elizabeth Bathory was a real person, and it is about Anna Darvulia, who is a young girl living in Hungary, she's like a teenager, who catches Elizabeth Bathory's eye when she helps her out with a medical issue that I will not spoil. And then Anna goes on to become Elizabeth's scullery maid, and then later on becomes her chambermaid. And it is about their relationship and how it grows and horribly deteriorates. The book is told from Anna's point of view, so we get to see her become more and more infatuated by Elizabeth, despite all of the stories she's hearing about this insane woman's totally cruel nature, the way that she abuses the people in her employ, and the way she abuses really like innocent people. But Anna just basically falls in love with her. The two of them fall in love with each other, and it isn't until Anna is way too deep into this relationship with Elizabeth that she starts to see the truth about who this absolutely batshit crazy woman is. This book plays with tension really well, because as the reader, it's kind of obvious as this relationship progresses where it's going to end up and what the truth about Anna and Elizabeth's connection to each other is, but Anna can't see it herself, and it's maddening and it's frustrating and it's terrifying because Elizabeth is so unpredictable and so volatile that it is impossible to predict what she's going to do next. Even though Anna thinks she can, it is impossible to know when the other shoe is going to drop in this relationship. Each of these two women, Anna and Elizabeth, are super well written, super interesting. Even though, like I said, this is told from Anna's point of view, I thought that Elizabeth's voice was very well developed in and of itself. Both of them had very great voices. The writing in general was really beautiful, very poetic. There's lots of language in here that's of the time, like slang and titles and terms of endearment and the phrases. So it really brings to life the entire world of this sort of, I think it takes place only over the course of 6 months, so this like brief period of time in Hungary in, I'm not even gonna guess at a century because I'm very bad at that. This book is pretty gory, so if you can't handle violence, blood, the description of things happening to bodies, this might not be for you. I have a pretty high tolerance for these kinds of things, so it didn't bother me. I've definitely read things that squicked me out harder than this, so keep that in mind, I guess. But the violence is not only because historically Elizabeth Bathory was an extremely violent and volatile person, but it's also earned because it contributes to the tension of the story, which is, when is Anna gonna wake up to what's really happening, and how the hell is she gonna get out of there? And the way that Elizabeth and Anna's level of violence and tolerance for violence increases over the course of the book sort of tracks that same tension of the story, and it's very, very well done, even if it is kind of gross. This dog is so loud. I want to just pet it, but also it sounds angry. If I had any complaints about this book, it would be that it's just a little bit too fast. This is only 288 pages, at least this arc that I have of it is. And there were times that I wish it almost slowed down a little bit. Anna and Elizabeth's relationship develops very quickly, and they become connected and bound to each other pretty quickly, in a way that does feel realistic for the type of relationship that they had. However, as a reader, it felt a little bit rushed, and I kind of just wanted to understand how they thought about each other a little bit more. I think Anna does a good job of describing her side. Obviously, she is the protagonist. It's through her point of view. But I think if we had a little bit more time, we could have maybe gotten more of Elizabeth's side that I feel we didn't really start to get until the end. That being said, I did really appreciate that this was an under 300 pager. I read a lot and I read quickly, so I was able to start and finish this in one day. It was a weekend, but still. And of course, I am always going to be obsessed with any book that has a queer romance to it, even though this is certainly not a romance. Please do not pick up this book thinking you are getting a lovely romance. You are not. You will be sorely disappointed. But this book is very queer. It is very female heavy, so if you are looking for a book with like lots of women characters, of all ages, of all levels of society, of all levels of intelligence, like a really wide array of characters. Yes, we spend almost the entire book with Anna and Elizabeth, but there are other women in their lives who are important to the story and who are important people. If this were a Bechdel test book, it would pass with unbelievably flying colors. This book comes out on January 28th, so very hopefully I will have this video up before then, but honestly, no promises. It is an incredibly good book, so well written, so intelligently thought out, and I just really can't recommend it enough. Like I said, I stayed up a full hour past my bedtime to finish this. I'm outing myself as being so old. Blood Countess, Lana Popovic. Go pick it up, pre-order it if there's still time to pre-order. If not, go to your local bookstore and or library and pick up a copy. It is so good. I'm so glad I got to read this. That is it for today. I have no idea what's coming next. Maybe another book review, maybe a monthly wrap-up, who knows? I want to go check out this dog situation because it will not stop barking and I'm starting to get a little concerned. Okay, bye.